All right, the big story coming out of Washington this hour, the Supreme Court releasing multiple decisions, the biggest one on birthright citizenship and national injunctions from lower courts, essentially siding with the Trump administration and an executive order that he issued the first day in office. Tom Dempsey is live from the Supreme Court with the latest. Tom, Attorney General Pam Bondi is now responding to the court's decision on this, and I think more specifically enforcing the executive order.
That's right. And I want to explain to our viewers, one of the conversations that we're seeing unfold here in Washington, D.C. during this, the President Donald Trump's second term in office, there's been a lot of pushback from Republicans and as well as members of the Trump administration against federal judges issuing what are known as federal injunctions. So if President Trump comes down with an executive order or pushes for a law to be passed, a federal judge can issue what's known as a federal injunction, basically blocking that from going into effect across the country. So what does that mean for today? Well, this vote was a 6-3 vote, mainly along ideological lines. The conservative justices ruling against sort of these universal injunctions, really limiting the power of those federal justices in this case, federal judges in this case. And what this means is that the executive order ending birthright citizenship can go into effect in some areas of the country. This is certainly a win for the Trump administration. This is somewhat of a narrow win, but a win nonetheless for the Trump administration. Like you just said, Attorney General Pam Bondi issuing a response to all this. We want to show that to our viewers. She's saying that today the Supreme Court instructed district courts to stop the endless barrage of nationwide injunctions against President Trump. So again, some of this frustration about these injunctions, at least for conservative lawmakers and members of Donald Trump's team, is that federal judges are getting in the way of the Trump agenda. And this is they're using that argument when it comes to illegal immigration and saying that this federal injunction dealing with birthright citizenship gets in the way of the Trump agenda, because you have President Donald Trump and some of his administration members saying that ending birthright citizenship can help take on the issue of illegal immigration in the country. Maybe they can deport full families together versus just some of them. So again, that's part of this whole case right here. And for our viewers maybe not so familiar with birthright citizenship, basically, it's tied to the 14th Amendment, and that says that anyone born on U.S. soil is a citizen, including a child that's born to illegal immigrants. And that's been a very sort of controversial executive order from President Donald Trump wanting to end that. But again, the takeaway from this is that this really limits the power. This Supreme Court decision 6-3 limits the power of federal judges, and it allows that executive order ending birthright citizenship to go into effect in some parts of the country. And to further explain this, Marni, this could lead to many more court challenges across the country, because those injunctions might just be for certain parts of the United States. Again, technical here, but this is definitely a win for the Trump administration, because it will allow that executive order to go in place in some parts of the country, Marni.
Yeah, some legal experts think that this will be full steam ahead for the president to try to enforce this executive order as quickly as possible as you see it play out in the court system.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.